What's up, guys? Welcome to another edition of the morning ride from Triple Rider. We are on our way into the city as usual, and we have a new route for you today. It's not going to be any of this mess today. We're going to take the scenic highway into the city today. But it's a bit cloudy, so I'm not sure how the views are going to be, but we're going to see. But today's video is going to be talking about something near and dear to my heart, and that is why I chose a Triumph over any other bike. So obviously, living in Japan, you know, the common conception is you'll get a Japanese bike because you live in Japan. Well, that might be true for a lot of people, and I understand why. It's cheaper as far as parts and getting things fixed if something breaks, accessories, things like that. But for me, I wanted to be a little bit unique, and I'd always had I never owned a Triumph before, so this was my first Triumph. So it wasn't like I was loyal to the brand just because I had owned one before, but I decided to go with the Triumph because I had some history with it, and I really liked the offer of bikes they had. And after I got on the Street Triple for like the first time, I was just hooked. I mean, it was just the perfect size for what I was looking for. Since I was just getting back into riding, I didn't want to buy anything more than a 600 or 700. So my target range was something in that area, and this was actually a perfect fit. This one's very nimble. Again, this is a 2015 Street Triple R, and it's got enough power. It shows a little weakness on the highway, but it's not that bad. It's great for city riding because it's got a little bit lower power and also fuel efficient and whatnot. So it's a good option for the city riding. So when it came time to actually decide why, you know, actually make the decision on what to get, I did look at everything. I mean, I went everywhere. I tried bikes as much as I could. I sat on them, you know, did a lot of research. I mean, I spent a good 2 months, I think, going looking at bikes and trying to figure out what I like the best. And the Street Triple won for its size, nimbleness, and you know, I like the white and the red combination. Plus, it matches my jacket. So there you go. That's it. That's why I bought the bike, because it matches my jacket. I'm kidding. Anyway, so why not another bike? Why not a Japanese bike? Why not another foreign bike like KTM or BMW or something like that? I don't know. I just didn't want to be a cookie cutter. Now, that doesn't really apply to the BMWs, KTMs, Harleys, things like that, because they're pretty unique here too. You don't see those as often, but when you get on any given road, you see Japanese bikes all the time, and you know, from the major groups, you know, Kawasaki, Honda, Yamaha, Suzuki, whatnot. You'll see other foreign bikes like 15 to 20% of the time compared to what you see of the Japanese bikes. So like the Ducatis, the Aprilas, the Harleys, the BMWs, KTMs, Triumphs, just to name some of the top few here for foreign bikes. Come on, dude, let me in there. Thank you. And so I thought if I bought a Japanese bike, it just didn't really have any voice, I guess. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, seriously, nothing wrong with a Japanese bike, seriously. But I guess I just didn't want to have all the same bikes as everybody else did. So that's why I went for the Triumph, is because I did like the brand. I liked the bike that I actually chose. You know, I actually got on it, rode it, played with it. It just was a fit. That's really when you buy a bike and you buy it for yourself, and you know how it makes you feel, and this is what did it for me. But I will tell you, I will not lie to you, it is difficult to own a foreign bike here. When you go into some of the bike shops, you can't always find parts. Okay, so my bike is a 2015, but even if I go in, let's say for example I want to get brake pads, right? So the calipers on the bike are pretty standard. You know, on this bike the rear is Brembo and the front is the standard Nissan type, and they're not unusual calipers. but if you go look at the guides in the Japanese bike shops, they don't always have, you know, your year or model listed. They might have, what they'll have is a lot of the older models, like the older years, but like when I went in to look for brake pads myself here recently, I found that the guides, even the 2017 guides, didn't have the updated model part numbers for the Street Triple, and we're talking it was behind by like, I almost want to say like 9 years behind. Okay, that's how behind it was. And not only that, but just simply other accessories that are bike specific that you need parts for. You know, if I want to do a tail tidy, I can't even find that here. It has to be ordered. Anyway, so, you know, just getting those parts, you know, you either have to go back to the Triumph dealer, which costs a lot of money, and so you're kind of locked into buying those parts if you can't find the aftermarket, like similar fitting parts for your bike. And I've been watching the other types of bikes like BMW and the other foreign bikes, and some of them have parts, some of them don't. So that can be a little bit of a problem if you have a foreign bike here. And I don't even remember what they have in America nowadays. I know that getting parts was kind of difficult because maybe there wasn't many bike shops, or the bike shops that were there, they didn't actually carry parts on the shelf. Like they'd have to order it, or maybe they had it in a back storeroom or something. I never found a bike shop, at least where I lived at, that had like a full stock of accessories and parts where you could just go in and shop like we do here, like at Ricoland and Naps. Anyway, so it has its ups and downs, and there's nothing wrong with that. But the bottom line is I like the Triple. So here we are heading into the central part of Tokyo again, as usual, and as you can see the good old sky tree there. It looks much better when there's a blue sky. And why are we going so slow? I just realized that. It looks much better with the blue sky behind it, and even from here, time by time, you can see Mount Fuji popping over the horizon there. But today it's a no-go. So we'll try this ride again when we get when the weather is cleared up. It's been actually raining the last couple of days again, so we're in the rainy season now in Japan. So today it's cloudy with no rain. Tomorrow it's supposed to be cloudy with no rain. I think it's going to rain again on Sunday, and it's going to rain all next week. So there will be a lack of riding, to say the least. Let's see what else I had to say about the bike thing. I will get a second bike, and I mentioned before that I like the Triumph for city riding. It's okay for highway riding, it's great for mountain riding. But I'm gonna get a little bit more powerful bike to do some more of the longer highway trips. And I'm really not into the big touring bikes, so probably, like I said, it's gonna probably be a BMW S1000R. I can't do the sport bikes. Just doesn't, the riding just doesn't work for my body type, I guess. I get uncomfortable pretty quickly. But the upright position like this, I get I'm pretty good with. I don't really have a problem with this. But BMW will probably be the second bike. But it looks like I'm pretty confident I'll trade this bike in for the new Street Triple RS, though. That it was enough of a difference that I think that it's going to be worth the trade-in to get the upgraded engine, electronics, and even the seat. Okay, so the seat on this one just really burns you after a while. But the seat on the RS, immediately when I sat on it, I felt like it was just different seats. So I'm hoping that it's going to be okay for longer rides, but we'll see. Look at all that traffic, all because of merging. That's either driver training or it's a bad design of the merge point. That's all I can say. Can you imagine For you guys that live in Japan, can you imagine trying to navigate through this stuff during Obon or one of the major holiday periods like not Summer Week but Golden Week? It's insane, right? Alright guys, well, I appreciate you tuning in to watch another edition of my semi-interesting videos. Appreciate the views, the likes, the comments. I like more subscribers. Makes me feel all warm and fuzzy inside. Look at that. Everybody's out for lunch down there. All lunch trucks open. Anyway, alright, we'll jettison video. We'll jettison here and catch you on the next one. Bye.